Welcome to Smart English Teacher. Subscribe now. I want English.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host, and as always, I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Julia.
Hi everyone, we're so excited to have you here. Today's episode is all about overcoming fear and speaking English with confidence. And trust me, if fear is stopping you from talking, you are not alone.
That's right. So many English learners feel nervous when speaking. Maybe you're afraid of making mistakes. Maybe you feel shy, or maybe you just don't know where to start. But today, we're here to tell you, no fear, just talk.
Exactly. We're going to break down the biggest fears, bust some common myths, and give you practical steps to help you speak without fear. By the end of this episode, you'll feel more confident and ready to start speaking English, without hesitation.
And here's a little challenge for you. Stay with us till the end, because we have a special confidence-boosting exercise that you can start using right away. So, are you ready?
Let's do this! No fear, just talk!
All right. So, before we talk about how to overcome fear, let's first understand why so many people feel afraid to speak English. Julia, what do you think is the biggest reason?
Great question, Jason. One of the biggest reasons is the fear of making mistakes. A lot of English learners think, what if I say something wrong? What if people laugh at me? And that fear stops them from speaking at all.
Exactly. But here's something interesting. Even native English speakers make mistakes all the time. The difference is they don't let those mistakes stop them from talking.
That's such a great point. Another big fear is being judged. Many learners feel like others will think they are not smart if they don't speak perfectly.
Yeah, I hear this a lot. But the truth is, most people are not judging you. In fact, many respect you for learning a second language. Have you ever met someone trying to speak your language, Julia?
Oh, yes. And whenever I meet someone learning my language, I never think, oh, they made a mistake. Instead, I feel impressed that they are trying. And that's how most people feel when you speak English, too.
Okay, so we talked about the fear of making mistakes and the fear of being judged. What's another reason people hesitate to speak?
A big one is not knowing enough words. Many learners think, I can't start speaking until I know more vocabulary.
Ah, yes, this is a common myth. But let's be real, you don't need thousands of words to start speaking. In fact, you can have a great conversation with just a few hundred words.
That's so true. Think about it, babies don't wait until they know every word before they start speaking. They just start with what they know, and they learn more as they go.
Exactly. And that's the right way to do it. If you wait until you know enough words, you'll never start because you'll always feel like you need more.
All right, so to sum up, people fear speaking English because they're afraid of making mistakes, they fear being judged, and they think they don't know enough words.
But here's the good news, you don't have to be perfect to speak English. The most important thing is to start talking. And coming up next, we're going to break some common myths that stop learners from speaking. All right. Now that we've talked about why people fear speaking English, let's bust some of the biggest myths that stop learners from talking. Julia, what's the first myth on our list?
Here's a big one. I need to be perfect before I start speaking. Many learners believe they have to know all the grammar rules and have a perfect accent before they can start talking.
Oh, that's a huge myth. The truth is, no one speaks perfectly all the time. Even native speakers make grammar mistakes, forget words, and use fillers like and when they talk.
Exactly. If you wait until you're perfect, you'll never start. Fluency comes from practice, not perfection. The more you speak, the better you get.
All right. Let's move on to myth number 2. I need a native speaker to practice with. Julia, What do you think about this one?
I think this stops a lot of people from practicing. While speaking with a native speaker is great, it's not the only way to improve. You can practice with other learners, AI chatbots, or even by talking to yourself.
That's so true. And there are so many ways to practice, like voice messages, online language exchange groups, or even just reading aloud every day.
Yes, the key is consistency. If you speak a little bit every day, even without a native speaker, you'll improve much faster than waiting for the perfect practice partner.
All right, let's bust another myth. I need a big vocabulary to start speaking.
Oh, I love this one. People often think they need to learn thousands of words before they can have a conversation. But in reality, most daily conversations use just 500 to 1,000 common words.
That's right. You don't need fancy words to communicate. Imagine two people talking. One says, "The weather is very nice today." Another says, "The atmospheric conditions are highly favorable."
Right. The first sentence is simple, natural, and totally fine. You don't need complicated words to sound fluent.
Okay, let's do one last myth. If I make mistakes, people will laugh at me.
Oh, this is such a common fear. But let me ask you, when you hear someone learning your language, do you laugh at them?
Of course not. I actually feel impressed that they are trying. Most people feel the same way about English learners.
Exactly. Making mistakes is part of learning. In fact, if you're making mistakes, it means you're trying, and that's how you get better.
All right, so let's quickly summarize. The biggest myths about speaking English are: 1. You need to be perfect before you start speaking. Not true. Start now. 2. You need a native speaker to practice with. Wrong. You can practice in many ways. 3. You need a huge vocabulary. Nope. Simple words are enough. 4. People will laugh at your mistakes. False. Most people respect you for trying.
That's right. And up next, we'll share a step-by-step guide to help you overcome your fear and start speaking with confidence. So, stay with us.
All right, now that we've busted the biggest myths, it's time to talk about solutions. If you've ever felt nervous about speaking English, don't worry. We've got a step-by-step guide to help you overcome your fear and start speaking with confidence.
Yes, and these are practical steps that you can start using right now. So let's dive in. Jason, what's step number 1?
The first step is simple but powerful. Change your mindset about mistakes. Instead of thinking, "I can't make mistakes," tell yourself, "Mistakes are part of learning."
Yes, every mistake you make is a step toward fluency. Think about kids. They don't worry about making mistakes. They just talk, and that's why they learn so fast.
So instead of saying, "I'm bad at English," say, "I'm improving every day." A positive mindset changes everything. Step 2. Start with small conversations.
Next, don't try to jump into long, complicated conversations right away. Start small, say hello to a stranger, order food in English, or even talk to yourself.
That's a great tip. You can start by practicing one sentence per day. Maybe something simple like, "How's your day?" or "I love this weather."
Yes, the more you say these simple sentences, the more comfortable you'll feel. Speaking English is like exercising a muscle. You get stronger the more you use it.
Here's another great step. Create a daily speaking routine. Set aside just 5 minutes every day to talk in English.
Oh, I love this. You can talk about your day, your plans, or even describe things around you. Just say something out loud in English every day.
And if you're not sure what to say, you can use apps, online conversation groups, or even record your voice and listen to yourself.
Exactly. The key is daily practice. Even a few minutes of speaking every day is better than 1 hour of practice once a week.
This step is so important. Stop worrying about being perfect. Just focus on communicating.
Yes, think about this. If someone is speaking your language with mistakes, do you still understand them?
Of course! And it's the same for English. People don't expect you to be perfect, they just want to understand you.
Exactly. So instead of freezing when you don't know a word, just keep going. Use body language, use simple words, or explain in a different way.
Finally, the best way to overcome fear is to practice in a comfortable environment. Julia, what's a good way to do that?
Find a speaking partner who supports you. It could be a friend, a teacher, or even a language exchange partner online.
Yes! And if you don't have a partner, you can join English-speaking groups or even talk to yourself in the mirror. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel.
All right, let's quickly review the steps to overcoming your fear of speaking English. 1. Change your mindset. Mistakes help you learn. 2. Start with small conversations, one sentence at a time. 3. Create a daily speaking routine, just 5 minutes a day. 4. Get comfortable with imperfection. Focus on communication, not perfection. 5. Find a safe place to practice with a friend, online, or even by yourself.
That's right! And up next, we're going to share some fun and effective exercises you can use to build confidence and improve your speaking skills fast. All right, we've talked about overcoming fear step by step. But there's one thing that makes all the difference when learning to speak English with confidence: your mindset.
Yes, the way you think about English learning can either make you feel excited or make you feel scared. That's why we're talking about the power of mindset and positivity.
Let's start with this. When you think about speaking English, do you feel excited or do you feel nervous?
A lot of learners feel nervous because they worry about making mistakes. But imagine if you thought, wow, I get to practice and improve today? Wouldn't that change everything?
Absolutely. Your mindset controls your confidence. If you tell yourself, I'm bad at English, you'll feel afraid to speak. But if you say, I'm improving every day, you'll feel more confident.
Here's something interesting. Studies show that positive thinkers learn languages faster than those who focus on their mistakes. Why? Because when you're positive, you're not afraid to try.
Exactly. Think about little kids. They don't care if they make mistakes, they just keep talking and learning. That's why they improve so quickly.
So the secret is be like a child. Enjoy the process and don't be afraid of mistakes.
All right. Now let's talk about how to train your brain to be more positive about speaking English.
Yes. Here are 3 simple things you can do every day. 1. Use positive self-talk. Instead of saying, my English is bad, say, I'm improving every day. 2. Celebrate small wins. If you say even one new sentence in English today, be proud of yourself. 3. Surround yourself with positivity. Listen to inspiring podcasts, read motivational stories, and join friendly English-speaking groups.
Great tips! And here's one more. Visualize your success. Imagine yourself speaking English confidently in the future. This trick actually trains your brain to believe in yourself.
So, remember, your mindset is your superpower. When you stay positive, you learn faster, feel more confident, and enjoy speaking English.
That's right. And up next, we're going to share some fun and effective speaking exercises that will help you build confidence even more. All right, now that we've talked about the power of mindset, let's get into something really useful, practical tips for real conversations. Because at the end of the day, the best way to improve is to actually start speaking.
Yes, but we know that real conversations can feel challenging at first. So here are some simple but powerful tips to help you feel more comfortable when talking in English.
The first tip is simple. Don't try to be perfect. Many learners hesitate because they're looking for the perfect sentence. But guess what? Fluency is more important than perfection.
Exactly. Instead of worrying about big, complex sentences, just use simple phrases. For example, instead of saying, I am currently experiencing some difficulties with my internet connection, just say, my internet is not working. Simple and clear.
Here's a great trick: use conversation fillers when you need time to think. Native speakers do this all the time.
Oh, yes. Words like, well, let me think, you know that's a good question. These little phrases give you time to think and make you sound more natural.
Right. So instead of freezing when someone asks you a question, just say, that's a good question, and then answer.
Here's another great tip. If you want to keep the conversation going, just ask simple follow-up questions.
Yes. If someone says, I went to a concert last night, don't just say, oh, cool. Instead, ask, oh, really? What kind of music was it?
That's a great example. Asking questions makes the conversation flow naturally, and you don't have to talk too much.
All right. Quick recap. To have better real conversations in English. 1. Keep it simple. Don't overthink. Just speak. 2. Use conversation fillers. They help you sound more natural. 3. Ask questions. This keeps the conversation going.
That's right. And up next, we're going to share some fun challenges you can try to improve your speaking skills even faster.
Wow! We've covered so much today, from overcoming fear to real conversation tips. But remember, the most important thing is to just start speaking.
Yes, no more fear, just talk. Mistakes don't matter. Every time you speak, you're getting one step closer to fluency.
So, here's our challenge for you. Today, find one person, a friend, a classmate, or even yourself in the mirror, and say something in English. Just start.
And always believe in yourself. You can do this. The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel.
That's it for today's episode. If you found this helpful, subscribe to our podcast and share it with your friends. Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, no fear, just talk.